issues in this country.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Y'all know what it is, man. It's Diz What It Is podcast. I'm the world famous DJ Diz. I got my right hand man Southside Seas with me.
Poppin', boy.
Yeah, and today we got two special guests. First off, we got our man, our brother, our friend. Not only is he a professor and a graphic designer at ODU, but if you ain't been around in the club and the nightlife, then you don't know this brother. He's been everywhere in the nightlife in the 757, running all the clubs, promotions, and all that good stuff. My man Papa Doc, man, Johnny Jones.
Yeah,
What's
man.
going on, world? What's up?
And then secondly, we have another guest, actress, entrepreneur, radio personality. The list goes on and on and on. My friend, my homie from 91.1, Miss Mia LeRae is also in the building. So we're going to get a perspective on both of them tonight, man. It's going to be a dope show. Of course, y'all know it's going to be a heavy show. If y'all haven't been aware or awake in the last 7 days, man, then we got a lot of topics for you. You know what I mean? So, C's, I'm going to start off like this, man. How you feeling? How your week going?
I'm good, man. The week was alright. We had that mandate from the governor that say everybody got to wear a mask now wherever you at. So
Facts. It came out Friday, right?
yeah, but ain't nobody respecting that shit.
I am.
Ain't nobody respecting that
I
shit.
am. I'm on it. I'm wearing my shit.
I went to the store today. They ain't wearing no mask, man. Ain't nobody getting arrested for that shit.
Nobody's getting arrested because the police don't control it. They're not enforcing it. The CDC is
Man, I done seen police that don't got masks on. So
They don't care.
That's true.
They don't care. We already know the police don't
There was
care.
one behind me the other day.
Man, he had a fucking mask on.
Yeah, in
the
You know what
store.
I mean? So yeah, but other than that, man, week was good.
My
Week
man-
was good.
My man Papa Doc. Glad to have you here, man. It's been a little minute, you know what I'm saying? Been a little minute. But how you been, man? How your week going?
Week been crazy, to be honest with you, man. Quarantine is killing everything, but trying to appreciate the blessings in it, make the most of it, keep busy, because that's all I'm used to doing.
Right?
So making the most of it as best as possible.
Yeah, that's what's
It's
up.
brought me to link with my boys.
Okay, that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Everybody's trying to stay productive, making the best of their time in this whole COVID thing, and in the midst of this wild crisis that we got going on, this epidemic we got going on, the police, man. Like, where y'all want to start with it? Where do y'all even want to start, man? Let's I don't even want to take it there, man. How y'all feel today? Like, y'all feeling the up mood? Like, y'all want to talk this R&B battle first? Y'all want
No.
like, what y'all want to do, man?
First
Get
off,
heavy and go
I'd
right.
like to say,
Let's get heavy
fuck
on
the
them.
police.
I
That's how I feel.
Those are
listened to that
I
this
mean,
morning.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. That's how I'm feeling. Like, right now, the social climate in the country is tense.
Facts.
And, like, I saw the cops the other day. I'm at a light, and they turning into the adjacent intersection, and we caught eye contact, and I gave this nigga, like, the stiffest shaft face I could give him.
He feels kind
And
of
he looked at me back like, kind of, all right, bro, I understand.
He feels some kind of way. You feel some kind of way.
They feel some kind of way, I feel some kind of way.
This shit wicked out here, man. Like, I just want to be the first to say, like, this ain't the first time we've seen this. So obviously, we've seen the protests go on before, but and my 35 years of living, I haven't seen it this grand on a national level, where every major city across the country is really like standing together in one protest. And some of them getting reckless, the looting and all that. And I see the media changing the narrative sometimes, saying, you know, it's all about the looting now. When you turn on the news, they talking about the looting in every city, and they're not even talking about the police officers being arrested anymore, which bugs the fuck out of me. But
Yeah, you're taking away from the real situation. It's just like the whole Colin Kaepernick situation. They made it about people kneeling during the national anthem or not respecting the troops that gave their lives, or this, that, and the third, when the root of that situation was police brutality.
Facts.
All of that gets waved over when the antics start.
right, so
And
we
we
in full
talked about it. We
circle.
talked about it a minute ago. Like, George Floyd died a brutal death at the hands of the police. Protests, I understand them, but why are you breaking in a Rollie store in Atlanta? Is that for George
Man,
Floyd
listen,
too?
Opportunists are in the midst of all of us. Alright, and I'm posting something on my Instagram today. I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but my son is out there in Minneapolis, and he pretty much is separating. He's drawing a line between the people who are the anarchists and the ones who have their personal agendas against the police. Because a lot of white guys that just are just as much as fuck the police as us. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of them out there protesting for their own agenda, in the mix with us protesting for, you know, black equality once again. Okay, and we getting the blame for it. They might be the ones starting the fires. They're the ones, causing the destruction, and we're getting the blame for it. Now, I ain't gonna sit here and say we're not guilty as well, because there's some brothers out there that's setting these fires too, but man, for all good reason. That's how I feel about that. Doc, let me let you weigh in on that, man.
I agree 100%. Everyone's gonna take advantage of whatever they can, especially if it's media coverage. But while we being distracted by the mainstream media, it gives the opportunity for anyone else who's less in the eyes of those people to do what they want to do with the looting. Of course, we're going to seem like we stand out, but every footage I've seen, white people, Asian people, Filipinos, Hispanics, everyone's out here doing it, men and women, old and young. We just going to stand out right now because we're the focus of the whole issue. So when they see us out there, everybody got masks on because of the COVID, but not everybody's throwing things in windows, not everybody's cutting stuff on fire, but they out there in the streets. I saw dudes just riding their bikes like they went to get groceries. They had grocery bags hanging from their hands in the handlebars. Cops let them ride on past. But they ain't gonna stop the black man standing across the street with the cell phone out, not doing anything either. But we out there, we look reckless. And because our people are angry, they expect us to be. Because the cops still want to get more arrests. They still want to, make themselves notice. But then you also have a lot of officers and a lot of people who are against it too. I think this isn't about gender or race. It's just pure discrimination. I feel like right now it's whoever's on the left versus whoever's on the right. And we at war. It's a mental thing. It's just starting to get fizzled because so many people have died and people are tired of it. And I feel like the reason why all these riots and protests are taking place all over is because now the seal was broken for everyone to finally speak out. People have been doing it slowly and surely, little protests here and there, speaking across social media, having little meetings and powwows individually. But now they got CNN, MSNBC covering it. Get heard, get seen.
Fox out there too.
Fox is out there.
That's why the narrative changed for real.
We seen this show before, man. We seen this show before.
That's a fact.
So now we back in the streets again. How long was it between Ahmaud and George Floyd's death? How long was that period?
I'm gonna say maybe 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Don't get me wrong, but it was
Not
weeks.
even a
It was
month.
definitely weeks.
So
Not even a month.
a black teenager is murdered in his neighborhood.
That's
Caught on tape.
February, actually.
That was in February?
Okay, so it was months.
Okay, so
And he
months.
showed the video.
It's just been replayed.
Okay, so it's been months.
Okay.
Alright, okay.
So
It
months.
don't feel like it though.
It don't.
No.
The video just
We're
got
still
released,
mourning from it.
and then,
How about that? The
I
black
still
community.
feel like Eric Garner just got it.
The black community is still mourning from it, and I feel like every unarmed black man or woman who was killed by the hands of a police officer, we still mourning from all of that.
Yeah.
All right, I still still hear them yell out Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown.
Right.
So, I mean, come on, man. The mourning eventually is gonna stop. And I quote Langston Hughes. It was something he said today. It was a post I made, a poem or whatever. But y'all gotta go to my IG because I don't want to misquote the brother. But Langston Hughes joint, man, where he was basically saying like, Negroes, we're meek, we're mild, we're humble, we're kind, but something like God, forbid the day that we change our mind or something like that. It was along those lines, man. Like I said, go to my IG at DJ Dre Diz. Oh, thanks Mia. Yeah. See,
Hold
this
on.
This my dog. Negroes, sweet and docile, meek, humble, and kind. Beware the day that they change their mind. Langston
like
Hughes.
that.
All right, shout out to my girl Mia LeRae.
problem.
It's a radio dude for you.
Sis.
Man. You know what I'm saying? The assist game.
Yes.
But yeah, man, like things like that made me really open up, like really think about this shit. Like, man, dude, we're just tired. Look at them. We're watching the news as we speak, man,
Yeah,
and
man.
it's
like I was saying, man,
chaos.
It's still fresh. So months ago, a teenager was killed, and now George Floyd gets murdered. We've seen this show before. Now we back in the streets, tear gas. The cops is riot gear on. What's gonna change this time?
what's gonna happen next, right?
What's gonna
you think
happen?
any laws
You
gonna
know,
be passed this time
what's gonna
around? It's an
happen?
election year.
What's gonna happen?
Are
We've been here
our
before.
laws gonna get passed around here?
I feel like they're trying, but I feel like a lot of politicians right now are trying to use this for election purposes. Because I witnessed an interview the other day with a woman who Biden was supposed to be having run as his vice president, and they're questioning her validity to run as his vice president because she is the governor of a state that has been allowing this shit to happen. It's the third time something's happened in her, I guess, district, and she's not enforcing the local laws. So now is she fit to be our vice president?
Right.
So they're taking it to that level. So I personally feel like laws that are passed or any statements that are made are going to be kind of rushed right now because they want to say, oh, now I'm going to get people behind me if I stand up for this cause.
I think it's a false empathy. That's
Yeah.
what I think it is. I think that the politicians now are using empathy to win us over. I was watching the Joe Biden joint. We didn't forget what you said, Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? We have not forgot what you said.
No.
But I saw you in the joint and, almost in tears, misty-eyed, giving the condolences to George Floyd's family, which is a great thing, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking that, but don't play on our empathy. Don't play on our pain and to get the black vote. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all been watching that. I've been seeing it. And Trump is doing the total opposite. All right? Trump is playing on the right wing to get their vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to send vicious dogs, ominous weapons if y'all get closer to the White House. And, man, look. This ain't the 60s again, man.
Trump
Unless he
wanted
wanted to be the 60s again, it's seriously, we this close to having a civil war again.
We are.
That's how I feel. We
are.
this close to having civil war
It's
all
been
over
brewing.
again.
It's been brewing.
And this
Now
time,
it's itching and scratching.
and this time we smarter, we more prepared. The only thing we're not is organized. I'm gonna be honest, bro. We're not organized for it. You know what
We
I'm saying?
need to get collective instead of divide, because the more angry we get, the more we separate, and that's how we lose. It's all together we stand type of situation, but everybody has their own beliefs, their own personal passions. I've always personally felt like anytime death happens, you care about it, but you don't really feel it until it's something close to you. Or famous. Everybody is quick to post when a celebrity passes away or a legend. Everybody wants to mourn them, even if they didn't really know them or listen to their music or follow them, because there's somebody that's known, it hits. So let somebody that's real well known die from police brutality. It can happen, or at least get brutalized. There were a lot of NBA players that apparently knew George Floyd, and they came out to his residence, took pictures with his family, and suddenly everybody supports that team that they played for or that player. I didn't even recognize who half of the NBA players were until they took off their shades, and I was like, oh, I had seen that dude play.
Well, yeah, he was real good friends with Steven Jackson. And,
Yes.
Steven Jackson is not only a good NBA player, a former NBA player, but he's an activist as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a well-known activist. And it was some other Minnesota ball players out there. I saw Karl Anthony Towns out there and a couple others, man. And that just shows, man. But what I didn't see is a lot more black celebrities being outspoken.
I agree.
Did y'all see that? Am I the only
Denzel
one
Washington
that...
was only one.
It was a handful.
Michael Jordan came out.
Michael Jordan came out?
I saw
Jordan
something
came
that he
out.
said today, you know what I'm saying, about racial injustice, but it wasn't enough for me. Maybe
They might be scared.
J. Cole was walking.
J. Cole was
I
walking.
expect that.
That makes sense.
I expect
That
J. Cole
makes
to walk.
sense.
Mom Duke said if you could put a panel together to fix this, who would it be?
Whoa.
That's heavy.
I can put a panel together
That's heavy.
to fix it.
Mom Duke.
Yeah, shout out to my mother, man. My mother watched the show. She's a supporter of the podcast.
Hey,
but
auntie.
she's
Absolutely.
well versed as well, man. So yeah,
Dr. Cornel West, first off.
Cornel West. Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. Michael. I want to say Eric Dyson. Eric
That's what I
Dyson.
was thinking you were saying.
I want Dr.
He got a lot
I
to
want
say.
Dr. Umar too.
No.
Are you serious?
Dr.
Donations.
The old one. The old one.
Donations.
The old
old one.
Gifts.
Get him. Get him.
The
I
old
know
one.
something.
The old one was still collecting gifts. Don't get it twisted.
Umar.
Umar took those donations and got 2 schools
Where?
in Virginia.
Okay, we gonna talk.
Really?
We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that.
They just took more money to buy.
I would say damn, that's a tough one, man. Like I said, I do think Cornel West would be great. Michael Eric Dyson would be great.
He said
You know
Obama.
who I would have said?
Obama.
I was about to say Barack, man.
Yeah.
Obama. Michelle.
He still make brilliant statements. He's still
Obama,
intelligent.
Michelle.
He still got a lot of pull.
What about some white folks, man, in positions of power? Do y'all think could change this? I don't think they all gotta be black.
It's tougher.
Nancy Pelosi.
Nancy
I
Pelosi.
can agree with that. I would say her
Bernie.
before Hillary.
Bernie, maybe.
Bernie.
I would say take Bernie over
he
Nancy.
definitely probably already
Yeah,
feels some
definitely.
type of way.
Yeah, I would take Bernie over Nancy, but I haven't seen Bernie speak out. Where all these politicians
They
at?
worried about the election. They got to be cautious with how they speak. And even if it isn't them, it's whoever their assistants
Associated.
are, whoever's pushing them, their publicists, their agents. You know, they're luring what can and can't be said right now because they got too much at stake.
This shit
Financially.
got me tight, man.
I know.
Financially.
It do.
I'm mad.
It got
yo,
the
like,
whole world feeling the same way my brother C feel right now.
They shooting
I don't care
gas,
what
they
tells
doing
the
all
whole
this
truth.
shit, man. But what about when we start shooting back, man?
They're
We're going
scared of
down
that.
just as fast.
The gun laws already got changed, and Trump
gonna
didn't
go
realize we were gonna get to this level when he did
Right.
change the gun laws. So now
That's crazy.
it's not just gonna be the hunters and the rednecks with the guns. It's gonna be everybody with the guns. Why? Because we allowed to carry them now. So people gonna defend themselves, and they also gonna retaliate energy-wise because they upset.
These opinions gonna be followed by bullets next.
They're gonna be followed by bullets.
That's how I feel. I feel like the same ones that are speaking out against us are the same ones that are gonna be shooting against us.
The same
And if
thing.
we ain't organized. We don't got the organization, man.
Yeah.
I talked about it with my wife today. We kind of almost got into an argument behind it because I'm like, she asked me earlier. She was like, you know, I know how you feel, but what if we did get pulled over? And I'm like,
How you gonna react?
how you? She's like, how are you gonna react? And I'm like, I'm not gonna have my rights violated by any means. I'm gonna protect you or my family or whatever that takes. And she was like, well, what if they put you in handcuffs? I'm like, they're not gonna put me in handcuffs. Like I have no. If I'm not breaking any laws, I'm not gonna let you violate me.
Right.
So
Right.
Every black man in America
wherever
feel
that
like
goes is where that goes. You're not gonna violate me in front of my family. You're not gonna put fear in my family while I'm here on site. So wherever it goes,
But see,
is where it's gonna
but see,
go.
now check this out.
And I'm not standing down for none of that
Listen,
shit,
to
huh?
the flip side of that, right? To the flip side of that, there are brothers that have been in the same position as you and felt the same way as you. So now you gotta understand why your wife is scared.
Right.
Because this brothers that feel the same way as you, it was like, yo, I'm not gonna let nobody violate my rights. And them the same brothers that get killed, man. Them the same ones that the police have down on the ground and brutalize and you know what I'm saying? Like for real, man. So that's not saying don't stand up for your rights and get violated. That's saying be smart too, brother. You know what I'm saying?
That's saying be docile and
Nah, that's not
They
saying be
come with
docile
the-
and meek.
I'm detaining you. You're not under arrest.
Yeah,
Right.
You
it's
know that's
more or less
fine.
being smart, knowing the law. So you don't have to show aggression. Like, I'm
You
smarter
don't.
than you. I know the law. You can't do this.
They
And
can
I've seen
flag-
brothers talk their way out of it without having to get aggressive with the
Yeah.
police at all because they know the law.
They expect
smart.
you to have. They don't expect you to have intellect, and when you do, you throw them off guard because they can just hit you for resisting arrest just for being verbal, even though you really ain't resisting. They'll throw that shit at you, and then it comes to footage, either their body cam, the dash cam, or somebody around with a cell phone who's brave enough to send that footage in. That's the key.
That's some real shit though.
what's a
I've
fact?
been in that
Real
position.
shit. Yeah, like you
Tired,
said,
bro.
you went through. You were
It's
telling me
tired,
you
man.
went through
I
a police
went through.
brutality situation.
I got arrested, and I had 5 officers pull up for something that didn't require 2. And they didn't really have any legitimate excuse for why they were there, and I couldn't do nothing about it at that point. And the first thing I did was look to my left, right, in front of me, and behind me, praying that a customer at that establishment had a camera out, because obviously I can't reach for mine, you know. And I had no defense. If it wasn't for the legal system technically working in my favor, I would have still been away. But I personally feel like the shit that I went through is terrible compared to what I got in trouble for. And I was just blessed that it didn't get brutal. I mean, they manhandled me when they grabbed me, when they cuffed me, when they threw me on the trunk of the car. But I didn't get no necks on, no knees on my neck or thrown in the ground. But I was just blessed in that position. But I've had friends that have had
Why
the
should you have to
recorders
be
on
thankful for
their
that?
on the rear view, and they record the whole shit. Cops have followed them back and forth from establishment to establishment, from a restaurant to a shoe store, then to the post office. Why? So the guys will pull the window down, have the camera on live, or they'll post it later, show the whole conversation with the officer, and the officer never had a legitimate reason for why they followed them. Suspicion was all they could say. You know, either the guy got arrested or he didn't, but they recorded everything. They just looking for reasons. Sometimes an officer's bored, sometimes
This our reason.
That's the reason.
This our reason right here. Our skin color is a reason. It's a weapon to them in their eyes, and that's all the reason they need. Your skin color is the reason that they're doing this.
Agreed. Agreed.
So if this don't make you feel no kind of way, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I've witnessed police brutality myself. You know what I mean? With my friends growing up, even at teenage years, man. Me and my brother Vegan Voss out in the streets as teenagers, and he had to, you know, well, he was suffering police brutality, and I had to stand back and like watch. Like it's nothing
That's
I could
the
do.
worst.
I was going down with him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All I could do was stand there to support my brother as he's going down. Like, and I've seen a lot of posts of that where people like, yo, now if you see the police doing me wrong, don't record me, help me. Which is a great point. But you have to be in a position to do that too. If
Right.
y'all not outnumbering the police, then that's more black men
Another
shot.
person they're gonna arrest.
More
shoot.
black men shot,
You can
more
make
black
it
men in the
worse.
system. Like, you gotta be smart about that, man. I know everybody angry, and let's think about it. When you angry, you make the dumbest fucking decisions in the world, bro. Everybody make the dumbest decisions when they angry. We gotta. This anger is the reason why these riots are getting out of control and things like that. Yo, we angry, but now we gotta start moving smarter. That's how I feel about all of that.
Do you think if the Panthers was still the Panthers, and there was 10 men at a junction with their firearms with them, the police would act the same way?
No.
But this George Floyd shit would have
If
happened.
the Panthers
was on
if the
site.
Panthers were still in effect and they weren't corrupted from within, and they weren't infiltrated from within, I think that it would have been a great organization for black people today.
We have a lot more rights now.
Mm-hmm.
They could get away with a lot more, especially higher power. It wouldn't just be about leather vests and jackets and turtlenecks and fists in the air. It'd be power moves. It'd still be
Politicians.
tension, but it'd be more effective. I feel
I said that to say people act a certain way when they're being looked at. And this man was being recorded live, but if there were people in there, if there were people out there that were willing to enforce the laws that he was breaking right then, George Floyd would still be alive right now. And I use the Panthers to say that. You know
Let
what
me
I'm saying?
interject real quick.
We got an interjection from Vegan Vox. What up, boy?
More so back to his point where he said we got a lot more power rights right now, and he deduced the Panthers to leather vests, jackets, and turtlenecks.
Go ahead.
Back then, they had, obviously they must have had more power than we do now because it was more community based, and they put in programs that
I agree with
we
you on
using now
Today.
that they made back then.
That's a fact.
So therefore, to deduce it to just an outfit and a look and saying that the power is more so now, no, it was then because we was more community based
unified.
back
We
then.
were more unified.
We weren't
But
relying
think about
on
it.
anything else.
Think about it right now. What has
I feel
divided
you.
us so much? Has anybody can answer that? Mia, you
What's
want to answer
divided
that?
us?
What has divided us so much? We're gonna get you on in this chair in a second too. I know you're very opinionated
Well, yeah,
on
because
this.
when 30 minutes, we
swap.
switch out.
Yeah, we'll swap out because I want to get Mia up here.
Alright.
All right, so the division,
Mm-hmm.
I would say this: the division is planned. Back then, the money was not as big as the money is now when it comes to black people in certain industries. More so to say entertainment. So entertainment is the number one way to keep a black person mind held in a certain state.
Okay.
Agree.
Alright, so take this for example. There has been so-called committees and things put together to stop black music that was going in the direction of
Conscious.
self-destruction
Right.
and all those other things
Right.
to say, let's take them out of that, give these niggas more money, and get them more gangster shit like NWA.
All right, so let me add to his point. I don't know if anybody heard that were watching on the live, but what he was saying is back then, the music was more positive. Obviously, you know what I'm saying, and music is the best way to control your mind. And in the 90s, early 90s, music went from being fight the power and you're headed for self-destruction to bitches and hoes and gangster rap. And we'll put more money in your pocket as long as you keep perpetuating this
Cycle that we
agenda,
want.
this propaganda we want. As long as you keep this going, we'll give you all the money you want. And this is where we at today. So I agree with that point a little bit, man, for sure.
I do.
You get on the camera, you keep putting the church finger up.
I'm not gonna care because I'm more so like Parks in this situation. But
Parks.
I'm also be your consciousness. Another solution, not even say another solution, another problem outside of that is the black man being taken
Taken
from
out
the
of the
home.
home. From
Yes.
More
You're
so
You're right.
Democrats
Yeah.
putting the black woman more dependent on them on welfare.
Yes,
You're right.
welfare has definitely
Everything.
divided the household, and that's a great point that he made. Black men are not in the homes, which leads to fatherless children, which leads to, I mean, come on, the list goes on and on when it comes to crime and all the things that we are subjected to when we don't have that unity in the household. So that's first and foremost. I definitely agree with that point right there, brother Voss. What you think, man? What you think about what's dividing us the most? You think those 2 points are major? Do you think there's something else?
I personally agree with both of them, and I think what leads to that is finance and education, because the women on welfare, the men are trying to figure out ways to suffice for the household, and because the opportunities aren't presented to us the way they are presented to everybody else, then we're forced to do things that allow us to put ourselves in positions where we get in trouble and we get taken away from the household.
Yeah,
It
that
could be
is
as
right.
simple as somebody hustling, doing something, and actually trying to stop, but because they're out there, they're in the streets, they're surrounded by the crowd. It could be the innocent man walking like Fruitville Station, where now you get taken away and you're doing time where really you were actually trying to better your family and better your household, but at this point you're no longer around to do it. So I personally feel like it's a separation. I'm not even gonna say it's the government. I'm just gonna say it's everything that we need to quote unquote survive in current America. Something that we try to do on our own sometimes works against us and pulls us away. And when the household separates, then struggle creates itself. And usually the core of everything is always to make sure whoever you love is good. Whether it's a child, a wife, a woman, a shorty, or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever it is, your mother, your father.
Exactly.
You can have a sick uncle, grandfather, anybody. You're usually hustling and doing what you got to do to make sure somebody is good. It's not always about balling and showing off.
That's
That's
a
a
fact.
stereotype.
It is.
But the core of it is to make sure you're living well. You know? So I think that incentive sometimes gets taken from us, and then we get taken from what we were working for, and now we divide it. I also personally feel like the cultures themselves, and I'm only speaking for African Americans because I am one, competition is created between us. So we don't even have the community that we should within each other, because there's a lot of judging and stereotypes and, you know, superficial division. So depending upon your skin complexion, where you come from,
Light skin,
what your religious
dark
beliefs
skin,
are.
shit.
Right, right.
We're not sticking together. We're not opening up our own businesses and supporting each other. The Asian community, the Indian, the Hindu community, they're doing it.
They all
But
doing
we
it.
suffering from it.
What you think about that, C?
It's
That
just- I
unity
feel-
is lacking, correct?
It's definitely lacking, but it's just like bro said last week. We're landless people. We don't have a home.
We're nationless people.
We're nationless people. We don't have a home. Whenever I go, and not to be like, you know what I mean, prejudiced or racist or anything, but here locally, when you go into a 7-Eleven, the people that initially run the place or most likely gonna run the place are who? Asian.
Asian.
You know what I'm saying? When you go into Asian eateries out here, they're Asian owned, they're Asian run. The people that work there are Asian. We don't have that. They have, I guess, like he said, a home nation or a country or continent to say that this is where I'm from. This is where my lineage goes to. We don't have that. So when it comes to organization, it's kind of like, nigga, who is you? Like, we all.
How can we organize when we don't know where we come from?
Exactly. Like,
That's a great point, yo. That's a great point. How can we organize when we don't really know where we coming from? You know what I'm saying? We all know we African American, you know, but you're right, the divisiveness and the stereotypes, the money we make, the light skin versus dark skin, the ugly versus the beautiful. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, man.
Like, the Willie Lynch Journal is alive and well.
But
in
you know what?
2020.
I read something
That's
I
amazing.
read something that said the Willie Lynch joint was a fake article.
What do you mean? Fake article.
Yeah, like it wasn't that like
That wasn't you.
that wasn't real. It was written.
It was doctored.
It was doctored up. What Willie Lynch said was similar, but what those words were, he didn't actually come and say that. Somebody wrote that years and years and years later, and real shit.
It was applied though.
Yeah,
They more
it
so
would
they
definitely
took
apply.
How you breed horses and applied it to basically breeding humans.
Yeah.
More so about your point, how you know this ain't your home? How you know you won't hear before they say you was?
I don't. I
Could have
I do
been.
kinda
That's why
believe
we.
that.
That's why we relate to the Moorish people, because
Really
we
don't.
could, this could be our home. You know what I'm saying? This could be.
You black. Every part of this land was yours before a white person even existed.
He's getting deep on you.
Yeah, but for
He's
real,
getting deep on
I'm
you.
not. I mean, that's
America was
fact.
created. It was
That's
the
fact.
land was already here.
But they won't let me. They won't let me have the country that my forefathers built for these niggas. Like they won't let me have that. This ain't my country. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
This ain't yours, nigga. Like you ask anybody in the streets right now, anybody, even a nigga that look like me right now, they gonna tell you who's the most important person to America in history. A motherfucker gonna tell you George Washington. Or some goofy shit like that, man. We've never been treated like this was our country, even though we built this motherfucker.
Quick
That's
interjection.
true.
I know he wanted this real quick. Chinese people got a Chinatown. Why could they use their money? They keep it. They say they country, but they come in have Chinatown. If you have one a black town, they can stop it before.
they don't stop it.
But you can,
They
you
had
can
one.
try to do it
They had
again.
one. They had
You
Black
can still
Wall
try
Street.
to do it again.
We
though,
haven't
that's what I'm trying to say.
reapply, and it's enough money.
saw what they did to Black Wall
Listen,
Street.
we saw what
They
they did
bombed
to
that
Black
motherfucker.
Wall Street. They burnt Black Wall
bombed
Street
that
down.
motherfucker.
Okay,
Anniversary of Black Wall Street.
it is coming up
Right
soon,
now.
right?
This weekend.
Yeah, I think it is this weekend, the anniversary of Black Wall Street. But they burnt that down. But with all the money we have, all the black millionaires we have, why haven't we tried that again? Why haven't we tried
It's
to do
necessary.
another Black Wall Street?
We lacking the leadership, I think. You know, we don't have the Kings, the Malcolm X's. I'm not gonna say there's nobody, but they're not getting enough notarization. And I feel like if we get to the era where we have individuals who can stand out and lead besides Al Sharpton, then I personally feel like that could make a difference. Sometimes a lot of people have beliefs and a lot of people have energy, but they need a leader. They need someone to follow. You know, unfortunately, not everybody is confident or knows they need to go in order to stand out, and so they want to follow somebody else. What I can say, and this relates to race, I'm an artist, and what I've learned is that this world will not exist or succeed without artists, because the chair you're sitting in, the clothes you wear, the food you eat, the car you drive, everything that you do was created by an artist. But you don't know our names, you don't know who we are, and we're providing everything you need to survive, live, and sustain. Usually the people that put in the most work get the least amount of credit. So if we built this nation and we doing all this work, think about when you go to hotels, think about you go to theme parks, think about when you go to anything that's run by a public. Everyone that's doing it, unfortunately, is black, Hispanic, you know, but who's running it? White men, white women. You know, the money and the namesake is who's getting the credit, who's running things. But a lot of us are the ones that's providing, that's creating. I look at that as a microcosm of America. And I learned that very early on. I never swore away from art because it's what I love to do. But I always realized that I had to struggle a little harder because I'm going to be overworking on the paid. But I've done a lot of things and provided a lot of stuff for a lot of people who made a lot of money. But I'm still doing it. I feel like us as a culture is similar to that. Because you have a lot of African Americans or just black individuals in general, regardless of where they're from, who've done so much. And you will never know who they are. It might be the lady who opens the elevator door for you, or the woman who cleans your hotel room.
That's deep.
You know, it might be the woman who busses your table down after you finish eating. But they're doing it every day. You know, so I feel like that's the way our culture has been taught to be. You know, that's why it was such a big deal when Barack won the presidency, because nobody expected that to happen in their lifetime. An African American leading the nation. It's a position. You know, we put a person there and said we want to run the nation by an individual because we're a democracy. But however, I personally feel like it's so much harder for America to accept that being the case, which is why it's going to be a while before it happens again. Condoleezza Harris should have been in that, and I feel like there are other people who have been making their way, mixed individuals, Hispanic women, but they're not going to allow them to do it. Look who's president right now. I don't want to go too deep into that,
It's the system.
but it was a setup.
It's the system, bro. Even with the Barack thing, man, I think it was all a setup. You know what I mean? Providing false hope to black people is something that's been going on in America for hundreds of years. They provide us a little bit of hope.
So you think giving us Barack Obama was a whole setup?
Yeah, that's providing us just a little bit of hope that y'all can do
shut us up for a
something.
little
And
while.
then, hey, we're going back to how things used to be, the good old days.
He'd have to be involved in something like
He
that.
had a crazy name, but look how he looked. Look how he spoke. They allowed that to shut us up for a
It
little
wouldn't be a
while.
brother like one of
I
us
think.
looking like that.
Tyrone
yeah.
Jenkins.
Tyrone,
You said my man
Williams.
right here couldn't be the president?
Facts. Tyreek
What's
Williams
the,
wouldn't get it, but Don
What's the
Lemon could
Hispanic
get it.
woman that was running just now? She had a
Don
style.
Lemon could be president, but my man right here couldn't be president.
Facts. That's
Black.
the lawyer that represents all the cases, Mr.
can't
Crump.
think of her
I think his
name
name
right
is. But yeah, man, that's wild. Bro. Like that's wild. Yo, Mia, how you feel about this? You zoned out? You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm
Mia,
feeling great.
yo, look. Before we do this, my man Papa Doc came through, showed us love, and
Definitely.
before he came, he was like, "Yo, I want to bring Mia with me." I'm like, "Mia who? Mia LeRae?" He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, come on, she a lock. Let's do this."
Yeah.
So not only do we have Papa Doc, we have another guest, Miss Mia LeRae, actress, radio personality, entrepreneur, hustler, VA to LA and back, and now she here to come through and show us some love on the Diz What It Is podcast, man. So. Miss Mia LeRae, would you like to come through and sit
swap out.
down?
We're
We're gonna swap
some
out.
love. Follow us on the lives, man. We got like 3-4
Yeah,
lives
we got
going
like
on right
three.
now.
DJ
Dang, I want to
LeRae.
set my phone up though.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
swap me out.
Take that.
Yeah,
DJ
no,
Stretch said he
grab
disagreed with
that.
Huh?
Okay,
DJ
bet.
Stretch.
DJ Stretch.
still
What he
going,
say?
He
y'all.
said he disagreed with
You going IG?
What you disagree with?
Yeah.
I need y'all to pull up
What
to
you disagree
Mia
with?
LeRae. MIALAURAY.
I see some comments up there. People agreeing, disagreeing. I want to see what y'all disagree with, man. What points that we make so far that maybe y'all have another point y'all want to elaborate, man. That's what we're here for, to get some interaction from the people, man. So
Yo, that nigga right there look like Gilly.
Hank said we need to invest in some military assets so we can fight this war.
military assets. That goes back to
See what they did
organization.
to Saddam, yo.
That goes back to organization. I'm telling you right now, look, if we got organized, bro, we'll be unstoppable. and because they know that, they keep doing things to distract us and keep us or you know what I mean, like disoriented, man. We'll never get organized when there's shit going on over here, shit going on over there, shit going on in 5 different places. And where's your focus?
You know what it is, man.
Focus be mostly on you.
You know what it is.
Over here.
I am
screaming,
screaming.
help
I'm
out,
just
man.
like,
What
what's
going
going on?
He just sat there, just watched the girl struggle with
you can
the
do that, and
like,
then I'm gonna go over here. and
man,
do
this
real
guy.
quick.
This guy.
Oh.
There you go.
Do your job, sir.
Sorry.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Is this?
Yo, to piggyback off what my man said,
Nope.
Go ahead, man. Right, bro. Little bro in the building got a comment.
My boy.
white people and Caucasian people are taught to lead. If you think about the black community in our structure, we are taught to work. So
Yeah.
that's what
True.
the dynamic is. We always gonna be the workers because we're taught to work. We're not taught to lead.
We're not taught
White
to
people
lead.
are taught to manage and handle the situations. If you think about how
Right.
they brought up.
That's
When they
a fact.
raise their kids, that goes to generational wealth. When they raise their kids, teach their kids how to run the same business as they was on. Right?
Exactly.
You might still need help.
Oh look, she came. Look, we had.
I did, and then I missed it
definitely-
because it
I
wasn't
definitely
showing
agree
you
with
guys.
you on
I
it.
want to see you guys too.
Okay, we all in?
I definitely
Alright.
agree with you though.
Alright, turn it this way a little bit more. Am I messing it up?
I see. We in there, little baby.
What does mean? Okay.
Man, so
Okay.
Miss Mia,
Yeah.
I know you're very opinionated. Just
Yeah.
from working with you for years at the radio station.
Hi guys. Hi everybody.
Yeah.
This is
What's
my
poppin',
first time going
poppin'?
live, by the way.
Okay, go
Got my
live.
fro popping because I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like it's necessary. Fuck out of here. I'm gonna be black and proud
Yes.
to the day. To
Yeah,
the
right.
day that
Yes.
it's like, over. And what I feel, I have notes, but they're in my phone, so I'm on live.
Oh,
Okay, but yeah, so let me start out. Let me think about my notes. You said earlier our skin is a weapon to them. Like our skin color is a weapon to them. I feel like we need to recognize that our skin color is a weapon, period. You get what I'm saying? Like even to us, like we need to know that our black dollar can hurt.
Hell yeah.
It can go, like, if we just put a pause on just spending with them cracker ass crackers, like I'm about to get up here and get so,
Yes.
because I'm so
That's what I
over it.
want.
I'm so over it. I'm so over it. And no, I'm not tired. Because we've been tired. You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to like say that we tired because they already think we lazy.
Right.
We are now awake. We're awake.
I heard
You get what I'm
that.
saying?
We ain't
Like
tired.
we're
We
awake.
I like that.
We're awake. We're wide awake. And that's why we need to use our dollar to show, like, because put your money where your mouth is right now.
That's a fact.
Right now. Common
That's a
folk, po folk, rich folk, whatever folk you are, just know you black folk. You know what I'm saying? Whether you know you kinfolk or not, you black.
Facts.
And that's because that's what they see. They barely saw Denzel until he got all the way up there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I see the celebrities that are speaking out. Like, that really matters. I see my white friends that are speaking out. I appreciate y'all. Woohoo. We out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we gotta go hard on this next part of it. And like, peaceful is out of the question. So our way of doing war has to be through the money part. Has to be through our wallets. Has to be like, okay, I'm only gonna spend with, I'll even take people of color. And that's another thing that I put in my notes that I wanted to talk about is like, what are we gonna call ourselves? Like African Americans, black, or people of color? I know I'm definitely not a people of color. I'm black, but at the same time, some people address us as African Americans, and I'm just like, I would
Just like
consider.
Fox said. How you know that we wasn't
That's
already
a
here?
Nigerian.
Yeah.
That's somebody from Nigeria. They got Nigeria. I'm not from like I have no. I do, but like directly. Like I was born in
Yeah.
Jersey. Like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like some people really was born in Nigeria and came over here in America, so therefore they're African.
African American.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so-
I get it. We can't
right.
be from two places at once.
Yeah, so I'm from America. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm American. Like, and I rep that, and I'm proud about that. And I also feel like another thing, a reason why. Sorry, I had so many things in my notes that I just want to like spill out.
Just go ahead.
It's like word vomit.
This is what we wanted, man. I know you're
Okay.
a very, very opinionated woman.
And so
Definitely.
passionate
So,
about it because
yes.
it's so like real.
Like,
and
give
it's,
'em- give it
and it's
up,
right
man. Give it
now.
up
We
to
just
'em.
like
That's what we
looking
want.
at it on the TV.
Yeah, man,
this
it's
is what
right there. It's in your face, man. This shit is real.
It's exciting.
This shit is real.
To get this energy from you because I wanted to get a perspective on women too. Like I know it's a lot of brothers, and we heard my man C how angry he was about it. We heard Papa Doc and his feelings. We heard Voss and everybody else give their take on how they felt about it as black men. But it's great to hear how black women are enthused about this topic and saying like, no, we're not gonna stand down too. We're gonna stand next to our black brothers and represent as well.
Oh, because it's happening to us too. Cause we mad vocal, you know, like and sometimes we aren't even mad and angry. Like sometimes we're just expressing how we feel, and it's the truth, and they don't like that, and then like that's what happened to Sandra Bland, like and like so it's happening to us too. We're right there, right with y'all, like and so like we just have to recognize that prior to these things happening, it can't get so deep. Like now it's so deep that it's like right in front of our faces, and we feel like, oh, we have no choice but to unite. No, we should have been like but we can't be stuck on the past. Now I hate when I watch these like platforms of these like celebrities, and they talk about like, oh, you can't lose, you can't do this, don't do that, blah 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 blah. Let's talk about like real answers. Like how do y'all feel about choosing a day? How like I feel like choosing a week, choosing a month where we don't spend no money except for with people of color.
Now let me add to that. Let me add to
a whole month. We already was in quarantine.
Yeah, we were.
There's still corona still going on.
Mm-hmm.
We might as well stay our asses in the house. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like only spend money on the local food lady plate. There's a whole bunch of people in the neighborhood selling plates. Mm-hmm. Y'all, there's a whole bunch of bartenders out here. You know what I'm saying? Like let's within the community.
And you can use this money that they're giving you for this problem that they created.
To build yourself.
You know, $1 look this up too. $1
Shout out to my brother Tip, because I saw him on Instagram saying that July 7th, 2020 is going to be the day that we do not spend. He said every black person in America do not spend money, not a dollar, not a red cent on July 7th.
July 7th.
I think it's July 7th, 2020.
Blackout day.
Start July 1st, because you all know we like to cook out July 4th. So don't try to ball out July 4th like, oh, we having the people over. I can just do this real quick, go to Walmart. Just do the whole from July to July 1st to July 7th. Just don't spend no money.
2020, we're not celebrating for 4th of July.
Oh yeah, what's Independence?
4th of July, we're not celebrating this year. We're doing June 19th. Which is my mother's birthday, by the way. Juneteenth is the day we're going to celebrate.
Oh, that's beautiful.
They already canceled half of the concerts
that's
and
dope.
festivals because of quarantine and the COVID. So why can't we cancel spending money?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Right. Right.
Yeah, definitely agree.
People have even said, and I don't necessarily follow this 100%, but don't call the authorities for anything. Because if we don't
Police
get
ourselves?
if we don't get a reason to go somewhere to find something, then there'll be less of them circulating in the streets. Now, I don't necessarily know if that's going to work, but I definitely feel like being active and kind of like helping the cause, well, not helping the cause, but working against the cause is going to defeat the purpose. If we try to act better, do better, stop spending the money and stop being all out and giving the reasons, but also as a people, stop utilizing them to enforce, then necessarily anytime they pull you over, anytime they just happen to be sitting somewhere.
It's all wrongful.
Yeah, it's all wrongful.
It'll be all wrongful.
Think about it.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That wasn't my idea, it was somebody else's.
But why we always gotta take the higher road, man? Why can't aggression be met with aggression, man? Like this shit is dead wrong, bro. Like
it is wrong.
Why can't I go outside and feel some kind of way about somebody for whatever reasons I feel and put my fucking knee in their neck for 9 minutes, bro?
Your skin color, man.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's how you lose wars.
That's how you lose wars. Yeah.
By
Fighting fire with
always
fire.
strategy.
always gonna lose in wars,
It's gonna be
man.
strategy and
real.
intelligence.
Strategy is
Like
the way
if
to win the war.
somebody put down a skip, you gonna keep on playing skip.
Crazy,
You gonna
bro.
keep on going back and
Yeah, so
forth with the
somebody
skip
hits you
card?
with the draw four, you gonna throw all yours instead of saving it for the
I
win.
will all be blind, B, but
all the way back to Gettysburg,
the people that watch
Pearl
everybody's
Harbor.
eyes get
You collecting money off the state just the same. They're looking at you. These rich white Republicans, Democrats, whatever. They looking at you the same way.
Yeah.
All right. So the poverty line is now creating separatism versus racism. You know what I'm saying? It's separatism, man. It's the rich versus the poor now.
Classism.
Classism. That's the better word for it. Classism.
I believe that exists, but I don't think that's what the case is, because the poor white women will always be on a high plateau.
Right. A poor white woman could still call the police and say you're in the park scaring her.
You're
and her
threatening me
dog.
and my fucking dog. You know what I mean? Where you're not even supposed to be with your dog.
How y'all feel about
She
that
could be
shit?
white trash, live in a trailer, and still do it.
Yeah.
You're right. That's what I'm saying. She could be poor white
Welfare,
woman,
WIC,
call the police and
food
say,
stamps.
you're out here threatening me, and the police still gonna come kill you.
Lori said that's true. I grew up poor, white trash. You're nobody without money.
Okay.
Classism.
You're nobody without money. Classism and
Still
capitalism is
rich
above
versus the
everything
poor.
right now in America.
Look who our president is. It's
Capitalist.
about money.
He's the capitalist of America.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He don't
He's king capitalist. He is, right? He's about the money. He's king capitalist. Like that's
Before presidency, he was already.
Yeah, he was a great businessman. I'd never take anything away from anyone's talents. You know what I'm saying? And our commander in chief, Donald J. Trump. You know what I'm saying? He's a great businessman, but you know what I mean.
he can make money.
And people
He can make
respect
money.
that.
And I respect that all day, but
and
as
even if
far
we
as
don't
this-
see power in him, it's respect.
Other people
So
do.
other people see respect in him because he has money. And
Money,
that's
power,
just like,
respect. What you need in life.
Yeah, like, you know. And he thinks that of himself too.
Yeah, Church
He
finger over
thinks
here.
that of himself. He thinks because he has all the money, he should be respected, and that you could tell by the way he tweets.
Money does,
like, you know.
Now, how do you feel about those tweets? We'll get back to you in a second. But
Oh.
how do you feel about those tweets that he said about the when the looting starts, the shooting starts? I'm gonna release the vicious dogs and ominous weapons. How you
Hey,
feel
man.
about those Trump tweets? This our
He's-
president, man.
He's following the lead of the great 6ix9ine. Is what I feel. You get what I'm saying? Like,
You
he
say
knows what
just
he's
trolling?
doing. Absolutely. Like, you know, like he, like y'all said, like, you know, election season is coming right on up, and he's just like, let me give them what they want, like, you know, and so like. He's doing him. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with us. Like, I've never been led. I'm not a bird bitch for real. I don't really tweet like that. I be on Twitter a little bit, but like for real, I'm not with the Twitter finger shit. Like, you know, I'm about the action. So I feel like with all that, like, I don't care if my president is tweeting nonsense. Like, you know, right now. Like, you know, I'm thinking about the future and ahead of time. Like, what we could do, like, you know.
Don't you think he should be doing that too? Instead of tweeting, he should be thinking about the future. What could we do to
Yeah,
make
but
a call
he's
to
not.
action?
He's not that guy.
He's not that guy. Yeah, he's not that
He's the
guy.
grab him in the pussy guy.
Yeah,
Go ahead, we got a point from
he's
the
the
bigger
show.
boss,
He's the
man.
mockery.
More so to say back to you, and you said that basically he respected because his business acumen.
Yeah.
Alright, so if they respect him because his business acumen, what are you supposed to do when you get into office and actually apply that business acumen and give us one of the greatest economies out of any president?
Nobody's
It's
knocking.
a fact he's giving us one.
Nobody's
of the greatest
knocking his
economies.
economy.
Hold on.
That's what he
It's
did.
a fact he gave us one of the greatest economies out of any president. It's a fact he gave us the lowest unemployment for us black people in the last 30 years, 40 years. Not to mention a couple other things, but I ain't gonna go on this because it sounds like I'm a Donald Trump fan.
It sounds like
But-
you support him.
But no.
But give your point.
I got one
It's
more-
good to have a
Facts are facts.
Yeah, I got one more point though. Now you talk about him tweeting. What is a man supposed to do when every media outlet who's owned by liberals is attacking him? How only other way does he get his voice across? He has to tweet his points across.
But he hasn't always been attacked. He hasn't. He started off
Alright.
tweeting stupid
So
shit.
back to what you're
He
saying.
started off tweeting stupid shit before people started attacking him.
George Bush left our economy fucked up. So we needed a businessman to come in and fix shit.
You had Obama though.
He was trying to scrape up the
Obama
mess
was there for
that
8
DJ
years.
Stretch says it's not true.
Stretch says it's not true.
What's not
Stretch
true?
got the facts.
Give him the facts.
Stretch, man, Stretch is a former military. He's also big in business, and I'm pretty sure he got some ideas and some perspective on this topic as well, man. It's a great,
When you
great
need to get
pod,
the money
man.
right, call the businessman. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you know what, you're
And
right.
All of the points that you made are valid points, and that's why he was elected.
I
You
still
know what
don't
mean?
fuck with him though.
I voted for Hillary. So, whatever.
Who you voting for? I ain't gonna ask you, man. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go who we voting for. I don't even wanna go there with
Kamala
that shit.
Harris.
Nigga,
is
me,
what I was talking
2020.
about earlier. That
Yeah, I
was
wanted
the
Kamala
election.
Harris. I liked her.
And somehow,
bad,
financially,
too.
she was forced to back out.
Yeah.
Financially. 'Cause
Only-
they gonna
only
push-
minority
She got on the Breakfast Club
presidential
talking about them
candidate.
greens and
They
shit,
gonna
talking
put
about how
money-
she wanted to push weed through and how she
Nah.
felt about reparations and all
But
of that.
they're gonna
What do
put
you
money
mean?
behind people that they support. See, that's the bottom line. It ain't have nothing to do
Bernie
with
Sanders
who
about to die.
It ain't have
Still
nothing-
Who
backing
was the
it.
guy
It
that
had nothing to
spent
do with they shit.
600 million or something, or 6 million on his campaign or some shit, and he just dropped out?
Bloomberg.
Yeah, Bloomberg.
Hella bread.
Me, you
Listen, that's why I said they put, but
Huh?
the people
Yeah,
put money
page
behind
public.
who they want to.
In the
So it don't matter your
Public,
agenda.
public.
You can have the best agendas in the world.
Yeah, I want
They don't give a
people's
fuck if
money,
they like you or not. If they want to put the money behind you, that's who is gonna be the candidate, bro. It don't matter what party it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
All right,
Don't-
man. Kendrick L 2024.
The same way Trump got
We
it,
gonna get the
because a
bread
lot of
together.
people
How
just
about
didn't
that
want
then?
Hillary.
Man.
Kanye West.
People gonna support
Kenny
whoever
L
they don't want.
2024.
The opposite of whoever they want.
Do y'all ever think that another black president is gonna be here?
Yeah, if it's
And
about the
Yes.
bread, we about to put Kenny L in.
I do
Kenny L
too.
2024.
I'm being realistic.
I give it
Like,
another
come on.
10 years though, but I do think there'll be another minority.
I think really gonna become president.
You think he's gonna go
Trump
for it?
proved that. Trump
I think
proved
Kanye
that.
a celebrity
Kanye
can get in.
I think Kanye West literally, whatever he put his mind to, he can make it happen. I think Kanye West literally can.
Would y'all vote for Kanye West?
I don't want a
Depends on who's running
president.
again.
I don't
feel
want a
like-
president that argues with his hands on his waist.
Huh?
Sorry.
That's petty.
I'm
Petty
gonna
as shit, man.
That's
I
how
feel
I
like
feel.
that's the only reason why Kim stands.
You the rally of the bunch.
He is mental.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
He's
Kim
rowdy, man.
Kardashian.
I be
I'm
trying to be in the middle, bro.
than
He's
Kanye
rowdy.
in terms
sorry.
of election.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian has surprised me lately.
Yeah, they gonna come out with a
Rob,
baby.
Rob Kardashian is coming out of her.
Hey, but you know what though? That's crazy because
Yeah,
she
yeah.
is getting more and more into legal
becoming a lawyer.
reform, and now that that's her wave, she's gonna make Kanye look better in the politicians' eyes, man.
Right.
Right.
The first lady
That's
makes
true.
a huge
He
That's
is
why
difference.
they
getting,
sticking
he is
together.
getting buddy
She
buddy
make
with
a
the
huge
Republicans.
Exactly. Marriage is a business.
Kanye.
So you think they
Your lady's
you think
period
they
makes a
grooming
difference.
him
Too
for
emotional.
politics?
For sure.
They said Kanye too emotional for
Look at Donald
president.
Trump. He
He's definitely too
Yeah.
emotional. That's what I said. I can't have a president that
Trump-
argue with his hands on his
Trump's
waist.
emotional too though.
very emotional.
Trump is super emotional. When people get on it, when he gets attacked, look at his tweets, man.
He
Trump
about
get up
to
there
shut
and-
down Facebook.
gets
Y'all need to
so
keep fucking with
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Y'all keep fucking with me. I'm
Basically,
gonna shut that
I'll
shit
write a
down.
law, shut down Facebook,
Shut that shit
Twitter,
down.
and Instagram. Everybody shut
Fuck all
down.
you niggas.
Make a good point for that though. They censoring people.
They are.
People are asking me,
It's just who they want.
female presidency. Why is that so scary?
Female presence.
That is not.
Why?
That's
I
what I was
don't.
getting at.
I don't want to be
Listen.
misogynistic at all.
You're about to be though.
That means that I'm about to be.
Because
Nah.
look, we
I
got
don't
me
know.
on the stand, so
The
state
girl,
your case.
the girl from Rocky, the big Russian joint, she could be president. That's why I need a chick like
He's being-
I need a chick like
No
that for my
homo.
He's
president.
not using. I'm not like we've been
I need
fucking.
I need a Khaleesi to be my president.
Man, we being real as a bitch here. Do you really
We
think a
being real.
yeah, we being real, nigga? Fuck all that funny shit. Do you think a female president can get in or not, nigga?
Yes, I do.
Who? Who would you pick? Right now.
Angela.
Aunt Cleo.
He said, Cleo?
He's still being funny. I'm being
I'm
dead
talking
ass.
about your mom, John.
Who would the
Kamala Harris, to me, I was going to vote for her.
What
Yeah,
about
I would have voted
what
for
about
Kamala
the Hispanic shorty who's a judge?
We were just talking about it. I can't think of her name.
That Obama elected to judge. Was it Rosa
It is
Sanchez? I don't want to mess her name up.
I can look
She
it
could be a
up.
possible candidate. Is Hillary a candidate?
I voted for Hillary Clinton. So
I'm
of
saying,
course.
is she a possible now? Because now
Yeah.
we know what Hillary had to go
Nah,
through.
she done
Is she
so,
still?
bro.
Would you vote for Hillary today if she was on the bill?
Maybe.
She does.
I don't know.
Live is popping. Shout out to the live views. It's popping right
The
now.
live is popping, man. Shout out to everybody. This Diz What It Is podcast. Look, go to my link and DJ Dre Diz. Go to my link or go to my bro link at Southside Seas. Hey man, click on the link. Watch the old episodes. You know what I mean? We out here. Go to our YouTube too, man. Diz What It Is on YouTube. All right. We out there. We out
I
there.
think it's Josephina
Definitely
Vasquez.
Kamala Harris.
Josephina
Vasquez.
Vasquez. Okay, it's a good. That's another one. I mean, like, I don't know, man. It's man. Look, this.
I don't know. It's really something that I never
America
paid
as a
attention
whole
to.
is not ready yet because it took so long to get a minority.
The one of the Reclaim My Time. To my her. The black shorty black. I'm reclaiming my time. The older
Maxine Waters.
There we go.
Maxine Waters. I
Yeah.
think she be pretty.
She outspoken.
She is.
But America's scared for us.
America's scared of a black woman being president.
Right.
I think
emotion.
I think any woman though, because like they know that we are more hormonal. Back to the original question, which was like, why are they afraid of women?
Mm-hmm.
You know, being president. I think it's just because they know that we are more emotion based. But I think we
Thank you for saying that. So I gotta sound like
the
a fucking
difference
pig.
though between men and women, why I think we would succeed in that position, is because men are reactive and women are, you know,
proactive.
right. So we see a guy on the first date, we're like, I can see him being my husband. Oh, he wants to do this. It's somewhat in my field. I can see this being da 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 da. We already pre-see marriage and the kid and the blah 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 and the
Yeah.
And the guy just be like, all right, we'll see how this goes. Maybe I hit. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just go with the flow as guys. Like, you know, but like, I would say that's for most guys. Then a man has a plan. And so therefore, there's no need for the woman to like daydream on what could be, because he's proactive just like her. You know what I'm saying?
So you think
Like,
a woman would fit in the president
absolutely
position?
Absolutely, yeah.
Without-
and she succeed, and we really see lots of change. You know,
I think a lot more compassion would probably be
America
into
would
the
be
laws.
great for the first time.
I think
That's
I
what
think
Lori
I think a
just said.
female
First time.
president.
I
I think a
think
female
it
president could be good because
Great.
great, wonderful, awesome. Just from the fact of a nurturing standpoint, it's in a woman's nature to take care of people. So if you're taking care of a country, I don't think it'll necessarily be the the emotion state or the vindictiveness state or
be the
this
mom.
what they did. It's the mom. Now I can't say that to China because they might fuck around with my babies. So you know what I mean. I think that's a strong.
Yeah, there's gonna be more compassion in the laws. I think the laws would change.
Proactive.
I think the laws would change if
Right.
You know, it's more strategic.
It also
That's
makes
why
a
they-
difference of
Women
women
are-
cabinet this too, though. If it's a woman president, but all men working with her, I feel like you have to have a good balance.
That wouldn't work.
They're gonna respect
No, that
her,
wouldn't
she
work at
leading,
all.
But they're gonna
They
gonna
undermine
back
her
her.
every chance they could get.
When
Right.
she's the president, she can put out executive orders without nobody
She
saying
could.
nothing.
That's true.
Yeah.
She could.
But her cabinet
That's what
would
they got.
be.
It'd have to be an even mixture. It
Her
couldn't be all
cabinet.
women either.
Her cabinet would
Then it'd be like, you know what I mean, Wonder Woman.
vital part. of
Amazon
her
success.
success.
Think about the business
Absolutely.
workplace. You got a lot of strong
Bobby.
women working, and sometimes the men still don't respect them, even though they're right.
Yeah.
Even though they have the sound decisions.
And that's fucked up. We was talking about double standards a while back, right?
Yeah.
Like our society has made men, all races, all ages, to think a certain way or act a certain way. Stop crying, man. You ain't tough for that shit. You put a baby doll in a little girl's hand and tell her to take care of her baby as a child. So promiscuity, you know what I'm saying? We're looked at as, you know what I mean, conquering if we have sex with a lot of women, but a woman's looked at as bad if she, has a promiscuous tendencies. So, like, that's how our society is put together. Do I agree with it? No, but I do believe that because it's all that's been beat in my head my whole life.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, that's.
Still,
You have to-
we thinking like that though.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
Like that.
yo,
No, you
It
gotta
would've thought
educate.
like-
Yo, I can't marry her if she's for the team. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, but
It's not
even,
supposed to be like that.
it's
though.
not, man. You gotta
I don't care
educate
how
yourself,
it's
man,
not.
and know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no.
I mean, even in 2020, bro, gender roles and all that shit are blurred like a motherfucker, man. Men can be who they want to be,
not.
women can be who they want to be,
It's
and
not,
they
bro.
are.
She said
who
guys, and then she made
administration
it.
Did that happen though? Under who administration did they blur the lines?
Obama administration. I think it was happening before that too. though.
No, but he put
Because
it
the
in
Rainbow
laws.
Coalition was around in the 80s
He
when
put
we
it
were
in the
born.
laws, bro.
Well, yeah, he put the laws in, but I'm
For
saying,
transgenders and gays.
yeah, he
He
did.
didn't have enough time. I feel like 8 years wasn't enough to finally get a black
Yeah.
president.
Mhm.
He had to
They
spend the
didn't start
first
listening to him till
fixing
6 years
mistakes,
Yeah.
fixing potholes.
Yeah,
He didn't get enough time.
he really only had 2 years to do what he wanted to do.
Exactly. I said they did not start listening to him till 6 years in.
Do you really think Obama was for you?
No.
Just ask yourself that.
I think it was
and
a
if you
plot.
can't
He
answer the
wasn't a
question,
black president.
do research.
I thought it
But
was
he
a plot.
couldn't
You
be.
really think he was for you?
He couldn't be though.
Absolutely.
I think-
Looks
Not the first
me.
one. Not the
That's
first
the
one.
only inspiration, which is the most
Yeah.
It was
strongest
the
thing.
pinky
It's
toe.
Gave
It was
us
the
hope.
pinky
They
toe in
gave
the
us
water.
hope. They gave us
Barack was
hope.
the
Outside
Yeah,
of that,
absolutely.
research
He
the
couldn't die,
policies,
man.
research everything else, and then you will know he probably won't for you.
Barack was for the gays and the transgenders only.
I won't say only.
They became a new minority, so I
Yeah.
kind of feel like he
They
had to
did
support
become the
them.
new minority.
Right.
That's why LGBT.
LGBT.
I feel like there may be a gay president.
It's like three more
They
letters.
said RST.
There's definitely gonna be a gay president before the
Oh, hold
woman
on.
president.
Now,
Beyond-
hold on.
that's a
One
great
thing-
question. Repeat
one
that.
thing- hold on.
Go on.
I feel like there's gonna be a
You
gay
go-
president before there's a woman president.
Yeah.
Because
how you know there wasn't already a gay president? Because when he pushed,
Yeah.
what was his agenda behind pushing that?
Hey.
This nigga was watching Hollywood and shit. They ain't doing that shit again, man.
And no,
They
but
used to say Roosevelt had
she
like
made,
male.
yeah, she made a great point, man. Did she?
whatever.
Okay,
But I'm talking about,
not
like,
historically, not
out there,
historically,
like,
but
you know, one
like,
of the children.
She's saying that in the future that she will probably see a more openly gay man or woman.
I don't
I mean, a more openly gay man become a president before a
there
woman.
was one that ran. Wasn't the
Pete
Asian kid gay that was
Yes.
that ran this year?
Yes.
Yeah, but he was out early though.
What was his
so-
name?
Pete Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg.
Ironic.
Pete Buttigieg, that's a gay name. No offense, no offense. Listen, I love my LGBT. Don't look.
Hey,
Look,
Y'all so
why you
gay.
stop at the
Hey, look,
letter?
So
You know
many
what I'm
openly
saying?
gay
Letters up in
people
there.
now.
forgot.
You got a lot of votes though.
Yeah,
They
they
support
got
us,
an
man.
army, fam.
2020.
They got
They
a
out.
rainbow army,
They're
fam.
not hiding no more.
Nah, I mean, whatever, bro. Whatever floats your boat is cool, man. But me, I'm trying not to be such a traditional person, but I wouldn't mind as long as our president is strong and, like I said, they want to push the country forward. I can give a fuck if you brown,
Republican.
yellow, Puerto Rican, or Haitian, B. If you gay, straight, or you wear wigs or you don't, bro. Like, if you willing to push our country forward and you got the American people and the people that put their blood, sweat, and tears into this fucking country every day, if you got them at heart, I fucks with you.
A leader.
I'm for a woman.
Right. Healthy.
Okay.
I don't care.
A lot of people here for a woman president, man. Mil, you got some words you want to drop on us?
I mean, I feel like the same way. I don't care what the gender is, as long as, like I said, a leader, you know, a good leader, you know, patient, understanding, ready to go in the mud, you know, and also, and somebody that has experience, like, you know, coming from the mud, because I feel like Trump didn't really have experience, you know,
you ain't never been
to
broke,
see
bro.
our point, like anybody else's point of view. He only saw, like, you know, his point of view. But yeah, and then also a healthy influence. Yeah, go ahead.
Doc, go ahead. You want to drop something on us, man? Before we wrap up?
I'm getting asked something.
Go ahead, man. This is great.
All right, Caucasians get arrested and they get fed food and they get sent on their way. I'm talking about the actual people that do stuff, shoot up schools.
The one that shot the school, the one that shot the church.
African Americans get killed, right? Why do we feel that there's a difference, like naturally, and how do we feel about the difference between the two? Should a Caucasian American be treated the same way as African American, regardless, because they still created a crime and they still kill people?
I feel like we should all be treated equally. All right, we're created equally. We should be treated equally. Meaning, so to answer her question or his question,
to
answer his question, look, if they do the same thing we do, they should be charged the same way we are. And that goes for police officers. I don't care if it was the judge. I don't care if it was Donald Trump himself. If Donald Trump commits a crime and he do the same crime I do, he better get the same time as me. All right? Your skin color, your money, your class, none of that should change us being equal. Right?
And the other half of your question,
equal, man.
The other half of your question, the reason that it's not recognized is because they probably I still feel like they look at us as 3/5 of men or 3/5 of people. So we still kind of livestockish, and it's different for Timmy to die than for Malik to die. You know what I'm saying? He's not as valuable.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why they get treated differently.
I hope we answered that question well enough.
One thing I want to say is when you say we equal, for us gender-wise, genetically, we not equal. Men are the recessive ones, the weaker ones genetically. So why would you put a man in control of the world who are genetically already are the weaker ones?
I wasn't saying us equal. I'm not saying equal as men and women. You got misconstrued. I wasn't saying equal as men and women. I'm talking equal as. I'm saying equal. I'm saying
the
equal.
weaker gender controls the world.
But I'm saying equal as across the. I'm saying equal across the board as far as laws go. That's what I meant.
And how's the world been going so far?
Okay.
Terrible.
So therefore, you probably need more women who are genetically stronger than you. If you in the hospital as a baby, white boys go through more shit, then black boys, then white girls, then black girls. That means black women are the strongest people on the planet. Literally, genetically, scientifically proven.
Right.
Why would you have a man in control of the world?
You for president.
Yeah.
I vote for Vox. Vegan Vox 2024.
Hey, I agree with that shit too.
Listen, man, that's some great stuff. Go ahead, drop some more.
I don't know how much more time we got.
Go ahead.
COVID-19 situation. In the beginning, people with melanin in the skin, the African Americans, were more susceptible to the disease. Why?
I think they were trying to scare us. They were
us?
trying to scare us. That was a number thing. Because really, when you looked at it, if you really researched the numbers, it was a more old people thing than anybody. It wasn't just black people. They were, the myth was going out that black people couldn't get infected.
Yeah,
which really fucked us up, because then we went out there stupidly and started getting infected. So the numbers look like, the numbers look like, oh, black people are gonna get infected more than white people. No, well, y'all told us we couldn't get it, and then we went out there believing that shit and actually got it. Yeah. So that's what that about.
If heat really is the main cure to the disease, or at least what's going to defeat the disease, and why the masks make a difference?
The masks don't.
The masks don't.
I don't think so.
I think the masks are
so by the time this song was set in, they should bake the shit.
I gotta know
if you have it, it's to protect. Like, me and my mom were going back and forth about this, and also shout out to my mom because she also proposed a question that she wanted to throw in there too, which was about the mail-in ballots, which kind of has something to do with Corona also, and the election, which we were both on. But yeah, so I feel like with the mask, it's nice to have it in public, but like my mom kind of gets upset when people don't have it on. Like, she always calls it out. Like, she's like, that person doesn't have a mask on. What are they doing? Yeah. What are they doing? Look at that person. And I'm just like, yo, it's cool because we see that. Okay, they don't have a mask. Anything that they are looking like they're touching, we're not going to touch. And if we happen to touch it on accident, hand sanitize.
You can protect yourself.
Yeah, protect yourself.
It's really about
If
self-protection.
they are not protecting themselves because they just are just free, nilly-willy, whatever. Maybe they drink a lot of ginger juice. We don't know. We don't care. Because I'm not going to stress myself about somebody else that isn't doing what they're supposed
Protect
to do.
yourself.
It's like people that get mad at fat people or treat them bad or, you know what I'm saying? Like, they choose, you know, like, what they eat doesn't make you shit. But anyway, back to the mail-in ballots. I feel like all that shit's about to be rigged. We're about to be in 4 more years of hell. And that's why we need to toughen up from July 1st to July 7th. Black it on out. Don't spend no monies. Don't spend no money.
Let's not forget about that. July 1st to the 7th. I know that for sure the 7th, we're not spending a black dollar.
I'm only going
I'm
to
just trying to
Desmond's.
extend it. I just don't want us to. I don't want nobody to cook out. Don't invite me.
I'm only going to Desmond's.
We're not celebrating the 4th of
and
July
MPs.
this year, alright? We celebrating
At all.
June 19th, Juneteenth, alright? The freeing of the slaves, man. Alright? We're not celebrating 4th of July. That's not our Independence Day. We still not
It never
independent.
was.
We still not independent.
One thing
Y'all look
I
at
want to say
today's
before we
society.
go, if you're not in Minnesota helping, you know what I'm saying? If you're not in Minnesota properly protesting for George Floyd, don't burn your own fucking city up. You Atlanta niggas killed me with that breaking in the rolly shop shit. Y'all, that's some nut shit.
Okay.
Like anything that you're doing right now, if it isn't aimed for the uplifting of this man's death or his legacy, you're a nut. So quit that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Great final words from my man C. Go ahead.
Oh, however, I do feel like if you're out there peacefully protesting and your police force out there in your area is acting up, then
Bust
you know what I'm
their
saying?
ass.
Bust the city down, burn it down.
I'm with
And give me
busting
something,
their ass.
too.
I'm with
Okay, I'll
busting
send you
their
my
ass
video
for
box.
sure. Doc, you want to add any last words, man, as our special guest tonight, man, along with me and Lil
I think if anything, what y'all need to gain from this is, at the end of the day, it's about knowledge. And I feel like the people that act and don't know, they just act on impulse. And I feel like learn and know what you're talking about, learn what's really going on, be aware of what we'll call the facts, but try to know as much as you can, because at the end of the day, the one thing that has no color is the brain.
Right.
Everybody's got not the same brain, but a brain. So make that shit as strong as possible and let that be your weapon.
Man,
Yeah, man.
I don't even want to finish up after that. Those were great final words, my man, Papa Doc.
Ooh,
I wanna,
child.
and look, I want to salute you for coming through.
Big facts,
I want to
big facts.
salute you, me and Lorraine for coming
Big
through.
facts.
It's been
Thank
so
you so
long.
much.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
it was fun.
This is
Definitely
fun, man,
respect.
for sure, man. Radio station days is what it remind me of. Shout out to Hot 91 too for kind of bringing us together and birthing our radio personality skills. You dig? You know what I'm saying? We still love y'all. You know what I mean? I still love you. Southside C. Once
Tune
again,
in.
man, look, next week we're doing the same thing. Sunday, 8 o'clock, Facebook Live. Go on, catch us on Anchor.fm, or you can just say Siri, play This What It Is podcast. We're
Yeah,
going to
man.
pop right up and we're
Check
going to
us
play,
out.
man. All right? Appreciate y'all for coming out. God bless you. Good night.
Hey.